Don't get VD from a male welder.
What?
How safe were you? Condom safe?
Didn't get laid.
Still?
I threw up on the bed.
You want to keep doing the same setup? I mean,
That's fine. I mean, it works,
put the
right?
fucking headphones back on.
I don't know. Get back to work.
All right, let me sidle up here next to you. I mean, it sounds reasonable.
I wish I could remember the fucking guy's name.
So let me fucking move this. Here, move this. Sorry.
I'm just kidding. You didn't actually do anything.
That way we're kind of reasonably even here.
Similarly co-located.
That sounds okay. Like one of us is going to be on the left, one of us is going to be on the right. So if
you're wearing one ear pod,
you only got to hear half the fucking
you only
conversation.
hear half the show.
The other guy's going to sound like he's in the other room talking. Well, welcome to Sequel Podcast.
Season 15, episode 233.
We are actually at episode 218. This is 218. We're well into the 200s. That's amazing, considering I started out at 1 13 years ago.
Most people, when they start counting, start with 1.
Well, I mean, like, we did 9, and then we did like a 10th one, and then it was like 2 years, right? And then
there was a big pause.
There's always big gaps. That's why we're on like volume 5. Like, we're on volume 5, episode 200, and what did I say it was?
13?
18?
18?
What are we, high? So, I'm Matt Bonta.
And I'm Cory Easley.
And Cory's back to podcast. Last time you were here was Halloween with Paul.
That's right. We talked, it was Paul and...
Just Paul.
Was it just Paul? Me and Paul?
Just you and Paul.
I thought Greg was here.
No. Well, I mean, you also did a commentary with the kids.
Oh, that's right.
And then...
and then we
did
did
WrestleMania. You were at
that was
WrestleMania.
it.
Yeah, we didn't record on WrestleMania.
No. Did you see there was a dude, like an old timer, that died that night?
He died at WrestleMania, like in the crowd?
I don't think he was in the crowd. They just said he died on the night of WrestleMania. But he was an old wrestler.
Oh.
That died. It was just a news headline.
Well, I know recently Bushwhacker, one of the Bushwhackers died.
Yeah.
Was it on WrestleMania night?
It was on...
Like
guess,
Saturday or
Sunday,
Sunday, Saturday or
right?
Sunday.
So it was one of the nights.
Interesting.
But he was an old motherfucker, dude.
The other one's still alive.
Yeah.
The other Bushwhacker.
The alternate Bushwhacker.
Well, it's Luke and Butch.
Butch is the one that died.
They were guys that I watched as a kid. So, did you know who they were?
God rest his soul.
I mean, rest in peace.
At least.
Like, what can I say?
I mean, he was born in 1944. So,
I mean,
this is dumb trivia that I remember from the article that
from
I saw.
the article that you read on.
It was like I was like on
Yahoo News or
when you have like open your browser and it's got like the little news ticker.
Yeah.
And it was like blah 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 dies on the night of WrestleMania. I was like, I was watching that.
Well, there was two nights.
Well, we watched the one night.
Sunday or Saturday night.
But it didn't have anything to do with actual WrestleMania itself.
Right.
It was circumstantial.
Yes.
Retrospect.
Retrospect.
Retrospective circumcision.
So are we here to talk about...
I don't know.
Our upcoming, soon to be...
Our forthcoming 20-year high school reunion.
Is it a thing?
I mean,
Have they set a date? Save the date?
No, save the date yet. I didn't
see one.
Yeah, no solid date
should we
on
drop
it.
names? We shouldn't drop names.
I mean, everybody.
As long as we're not saying anything
we're not going to say
salacious.
anything stupid about anybody.
Okay, we're not going to tell any stories about like people like going out and hanging out and going bowling and getting drunk and not having a 3-way and getting pissed off about it.
No, we're not going to do that. But fucking what's his name?
John.
John Benitez posted on...
Oh, yeah, no, I love this. This is so funny.
On Facebook, he's like, hey, guys, because 10-year was Carla.
Carla did the 10-year.
Carla Orell, I think.
Yes.
At least that was her name. I think
oh, yeah, she might be.
Carla John Smith now.
Yeah, no, she organized. I don't know.
She organized the first one.
Yes.
And then John's putting this one together.
I wonder why she's not doing it again.
I mean, she's got family and kids. John probably doesn't.
Was she not a family kids person back then?
She had a husband, and I think they had one little at the time.
Now they've got like,
now they have
20.
like several.
Several. You've got several now too.
I do have several.
So,
you don't see me fucking volunteering to put together some class reunion.
You would never do that, and you know especially what you wouldn't do. You wouldn't offer up the idea of combining it with Hug High School. You know why you would never do that?
Because it was a fucking dumbass idea.
Because you went to Reno High School.
I did
for the first 2 years.
Exactly. So like, and if everybody did that, we'd have people from every fucking high school at the reunion.
Every
it would
right.
be like an all. So okay.
I remember when we graduated, right, and there was like 50 people that I fucking couldn't even tell you who they were, but they got their fucking graduation diploma from our school.
Right.
They were probably like homeschoolers or something.
They can be, and then some people went to like Team CC High for some of their credits, and they could choose where their diploma came from. It's like whatever.
I'm like, who's that guy? Who's that guy? Like all the people at the end were fucking like
randos.
Fucking also rands. They were super randos. Like, who the fuck? They weren't on this fucking thing.
Oh, dude, I remember that.
This is the panorama class photo of the
2003 first graduating class. And now this was at the...
This was just on the bleachers in the fucking football
I know, but
field.
I'm trying to remember when we did it. We did this
that was probably
at the beginning of senior year. It had to have been because we got the t-shirts and stuff.
Sweaters.
Yeah,
jackets.
Everybody's wearing sweaters, so it's beginning of the year.
So the fall into winter.
Man. Look how young everybody looked.
And alive. Some of them aren't alive anymore.
That's true. I don't know.
You don't know who's alive.
How
who's
many
dead.
of us are not alive anymore?
I was going to start crossing. Should I start crossing faces off as people
make it look
die
like
off?
a hit list? Hey, there's Cory. Man, I look like a baby.
Don't we all?
It's crazy. Where were you?
I'm in the middle, right there. I got my Scarface shirt on.
Wow, look at you. You were tiny. You were all like skinny. You look
I was like 180 pounds.
Jesus. That's crazy, man. And it's funny because I can remember some of these people's names, and then other people's like, I don't know who the fuck that kid was. Like a lot of people. There's
I don't know.
Sean
So
and
where
Carla.
are you at?
I'm over here.
With Ryan Kelly, your best friend.
Well, I wasn't sitting with him.
Look how skinny he looks.
There's Brandon.
There's Brandon, Cory.
Cory.
Forson.
Yep. I was sitting with Katie because we were dating at the time.
Who else is over here though? Oh, Nan, Justin, and then me next to Justin, and then the Polish kid.
That's Polish kid, man.
Luke.
Yep. I thought about him the other day. I was trying to explain it to somebody. I was like, I don't even remember his name and I feel bad, but we used to just call him Polish kid.
He didn't like that too. At a certain point, he was over it.
Yeah, well, it was probably funny up front, and then it was not so funny.
When you're not.
Where's the third amigo? Was she there?
No, she left junior year.
That's right. She didn't come back.
I saw her back then.
Right.
When we were doing Arsenic and Old Lace. Me and Brandon ran up to Rayleigh's or something on one of the performance nights.
Gotcha.
And saw her coming out of Rayleigh's. Oh, you know what? We never talked about this. I've always been trying to remember to talk about this story.
Okay.
And I think about it all the time, and I think about, like, why I did what I did, opposed to, like, not doing what I did. Do you remember when her boyfriend, like, wanted to beat me up? Do you remember this?
I remember it, kind of. And it had something to do with because you guys were hanging out.
No, it wasn't that.
Really?
Well, I mean, it might have been, but that's not, like...
Because it was an older guy, too.
Yeah, it was an older guy out of high school, and this was a dude that, it's funny, we could probably drop her name. Do we want to drop her name?
I don't think it matters. I haven't talked to her since.
Right, so Devin...
I remember her last name.
Devin Fleck.
That's it.
And there was the three of us in English and...
History.
Do you remember our teachers' names? Radio silence.
Radio silence.
Was it Olson was our English teacher?
Yep.
And it wasn't it Rucker?
Yep.
And I saw him
Darius
at Target.
Rucker.
Like, no way. It was Bobby. Because remember, he would call himself on the phone.
Bobby! Yep.
But no, so like, I like shook her hand like too hard.
I hated Mrs. Olson.
Yeah, no, none of us.
As a teacher.
Really, she was kind of...
She was cunty.
She might be dead now.
You never know. She had
cancer or something.
Did she have cancer? Maybe she had, what's that thing that Will Smith's wife has?
Alopecia?
Maybe.
Oh, no, I think
she wears like a do-rag on her head.
Yeah, because I think she
and
had
hats
cancer.
and stuff.
Yeah,
I know, but
keep your wife's name. My wife's name.
Ouch! I already did that one. I can't.
You did that.
I can't
for
overdo
Midnight
that.
Bloodshed. But no. So like Devin, like, it was the three of us. We hung out. We called ourselves Three Amigos. But like I shook her hand like really hard, and she was like, "Ow!" And then she like mentioned it to her boyfriend.
Right.
And then she came into school and was like, "Hey, look, I kind of told my boyfriend that you squeezed my hand too hard, and it hurt. So he was gonna, you know, come after school and like talk to you about that, right?" Like that, like it sounds stupid as I'm saying it. Like I'm looking at you, like I feel like a
no, because I'm dummy.
Well, she wasn't supposed to tell me
that he
why,
was coming,
and
right.
well, no, she was supposed to tell me that he was coming. Like she was just going to introduce me to her boyfriend, but like she told me that his intentions were not a friendly intentions. That he like was going to like threaten to kick my ass. Maybe
he just wanted to like, did you actually talk to him?
Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking like, why, if I knew that he was going to be out there, and I knew why he was going to be out there, why the fuck did I go?
Would you have backed down now?
No, now would be different. But like, if I was that age then,
yeah, but you weren't.
But he wasn't gonna walk into the school.
No.
Right? He wasn't ever going to find me.
No.
Like it was a rehearsal day.
Yeah, so
I was
you
just
could have
gonna
been
be
at school
in the gym
until fucking 6:00.
And even if like I didn't have rehearsal, like I get on the bus, I go home. He didn't know where I lived. She didn't know where I lived.
Yeah.
So like, why, in my head, did I decide to go out there?
Dude, when you're 17, 18 years old, you're fucking stupid.
I was 16.
Still, kids are stupid, man.
Right. I mean, even worse, right? So like, but like, why the fuck did I go out there?
Also because you didn't do anything wrong.
Right. And she wasn't supposed to tell me why I was going.
And you weren't malicious about doing what you did.
No.
You were fucking around and there was an accident and she was frail anyway. Like, she was skinny, not strong.
And like, he was also probably threatened.
Yeah.
Not necessarily by me per se, but by like another dude hanging out. Right.
Hanging out with her.
Every day.
At school every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're friends.
Right.
And she probably talked about us because we were pretty much the only friends she had at school.
So I went outside after school to go meet him, and he goes to shake my hand and like squeezes it real hard, gets right up in my face, and like is like, "Why the fuck did you do that? Are you ever gonna fucking do that again? Okay, fine." Some shit like that, right? And that was like it.
Yeah.
Now there's a little side backs. Do you remember this?
Like marginally.
Like, because you were gonna go with me, but you had to leave to go to work at the taco shack.
That's right.
Because you were going to go. And you're like, "Man, I wish I could go. Fuck. But I got to go to work." So that's why you didn't go. Could have been a different situation then, too. Also, a side story to this, that same dude, like, beat the shit out of Justin Brown, like, at, like, the Home Depot parking lot or something.
Really?
Yes.
In high school?
Yeah, like, just prior to that. Probably, like, the Saturday before.
For what?
That I don't remember why.
Huh.
But, like,
I
was like friends with Dean Anderson, right?
Right.
And he hung out with those guys, so he knew about that story, and he was outside, like a couple cars over, and he, like, later on, he's like, "I saw that fucking dude over there with you. I should have fucking gone over there," because they fucking hated that guy based on what he did to Justin.
Right.
Now I don't know if he beat the shit out of Justin, or if he
had
just
a fight.
I think he like at least pushed him, tossed him on the ground or something.
That's wild, man. But okay, I mean, we talk about that
Mm-hmm.
as like, really, that was our experience of violence at school. Like, did you ever get into a fight at school?
At Hug, I did. With Dean.
Is that right? Yes! See, that's the old school way, though. You get into a fist fight with somebody because you had some kind of pissing contest.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And then you get into a fight if you actually went fisticuffs.
Yep.
And then after that, usually the issue was resolved and you were friends. At some level,
eventually.
At some point in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a story
Tale as
old as time. No, I have literal old fart friends, guys that are 50, 60 years old, that when they were in middle school and high school,
mm-hmm.
they were scrappy dudes. They would just fight just to see if they could kick the other guy's ass. And then they would get, as they moved on in school and they got older and guys knew about their reputation, they would come and want to fight them because they knew that they were fighters, mm-hmm. and they wanted to see who was the best. So the dude, come and fight, and then, like I said, one of my old fart friends, he's like, yeah, this guy wanted to fucking kick my ass, and he was like twice my size, and, we socked each other up, and we ended up being best friends in high school. And it's just weird, right? But now, you call somebody the wrong pronouns, and they bring a fucking gun to school.
We were talking about that at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
The little girl fucking shoots up an elementary
Church
school?
Or?
Yeah, it was a Catholic school, but I mean, the kids that she killed were fucking 9 years old, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my oldest son's 11, and he seems like a big kid now, but like 2 years ago, he was little, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a little kid.
Yeah.
That fucking blows my mind. Like, how old is your niece?
Oh, it's 4?
Not your niece. Is she your niece?
Are you talking about Melody?
Yeah. I guess she's not your
8.
niece.
So she's that age?
Yeah.
8, 9?
So, I mean, picture that. Like a teenage,
it's fucked up.
Almost an adult person
fucked up.
Going into an elementary school and fucking shooting kids, man. For whatever reason. Like, what could a fucking little kid say that would make you want to murder them?
Really, shouldn't be anything that you could say that makes someone...
Yeah, I mean, sticks and stones, right?
Yes.
Like, it should never go that far.
Right. It should have...
And it's just nasty.
A cooling down situation somewhere.
Yeah, you would hope. And then you just hear... I mean, maybe it's
Was there any? Like, I don't... Like, when we were in high school, let's stick to North Valleys.
Yeah.
Maybe some people will fucking listen to this.
You never know.
You know what's fucked up, dude? I reposted the new version of Not in the Dark last Saturday, Friday, whatever it was. Monday. And it's already over 400 views.
Really?
From Monday.
That's good.
That's insane.
I mean, it's insane for our stuff so far.
It is. It's insane for our stuff. Why did that movie get over 400 views in like 4 days?
Don't know, man. It's the algorithm.
It's insane.
It's pure insanity.
Anyway, what did we deal with any? Do you remember any incidences?
I mean, dude, we never even had to, like, okay. I remember going into...
might not even have had a drill.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember going into high school, like, coming up on freshman year, and it was after Columbine had happened.
Right.
And I was into guns, as a kid. And I had friends that were into guns and stuff.
That was your
my mom and my stepdad didn't have any guns.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad had guns, and we went out and we shot and stuff. And I hate to say it out loud, but it was true. Like, I had unfettered access to the guns.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
there wasn't a lockbox
my
situation.
dad didn't have the guns locked up. Like, I knew where his loaded Glock was. There was a loaded pump shotgun, and then my guns and stuff, they were just in the closet,
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then when I was in high school, like, I knew where the ammunition was. It wasn't locked up.
Right.
I had my guns.
So you snapped at some point.
My guns were in my room.
Oh, shit. So your dad didn't have a situation post-Columbine?
No, because he taught me early on, like how to handle firearms and how serious it was. And, I would be lying if I said I didn't play with them, but they were unloaded. Mm-hmm. And there was no ammunition in my room. And I would never have gone and gotten it at that, unless it was like, hey, shit's going down and I need to fucking shoot somebody, right? I mean like an evasion thing, right? Like home invasion, self-defense.
Okay, yeah.
If I thought that I, me or my family household was at risk, then I would have acted that way.
At 16.
At 16. Because I knew how to shoot, and I knew where the guns were. And I, from a young age, had that, and maybe it was bravado, and I would have fucking fallen apart if I ever had to shoot somebody. But I always had that mentality. It's like, you're going to come in my house, you're going to fucking eat lead.
Right.
Even as a kid. And I was into shooting sports when I was younger.
I never shot a gun until we made God Salt.
Was that the first time you shot a gun?
Yeah.
Was when I took you out?
No, Patrick. So
that's
Patrick
right. You went and
bought
shot
his
little
little
38.
gun that he bought for the movie, and he was like, "Let's go up there and shoot." And I throw the lines in, and Not in the Dark. Ashley's character says the very lines that how I felt about when I shot his gun, because I'd never shot a gun before, and that trigger just kind of like a hair trigger.
Yeah.
It went off quick, and I was like, whoo, I am not the guy to hand a gun to and shoot, because it was way too easy, and it'd be way too easy to accidentally do something wrong, and you can't undo a thing with a gun when you have an accident.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, I shot a couple of things, I fired off a couple rounds at a tree stump, but I was like, no. It's cool. Yeah. Everyone else could have them. It
doesn't do it for you.
No, it was just way too dangerous. And then I don't even think I've shot one since.
You shot a couple when we went up for Street Toughs.
Did we? Did I?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You dumped one out of the rifle.
Maybe I shot the shotgun once.
Maybe. I don't remember exactly, but I know that you did.
Well, I mean, there was when we tried to shoot the head to blow up the head.
Yeah.
And then there was also the day where I had you guys shooting the shack.
Shooting the shack, yeah. That was the day I remember you shooting.
Huh, maybe. I don't remember, but
I remember you being it's not great.
It don't make me hard.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know. To me, it's a skill and it's a tool. Like firearms.
Yeah.
And
I think you get real passionate about firearms.
Good at it is what I like about it. I don't get the boner trip, power trip that, this is power. I don't feel that way.
But anyway, back to
Columbine had happened before we went to high school.
Yeah,
I was
it was
fucking terrified.
Middle school.
I was terrified to go into high school. And because I was sure as shit, that's just something that's going to happen all the time. Little did I fucking know, dude. And it didn't happen.
Never happened.
Didn't happen all at once. But
now it does.
Now it's fucking every other day.
Yeah.
But when we went to high school, I don't remember at any of the schools there being an incident. Maybe there was an incident.
I remember at Hug, I think one day we turned off the lights and covered the window.
Because you thought there was a shooter.
There might have been an incident.
Or a kid had a gun or something like that.
Something. And, of course, Hug was separate buildings.
Right.
So it wasn't necessarily in the building that I was in. But I think I remember... I don't think I'm friends with anybody on Facebook that was in my class at Hug. Nah, definitely not. But I do think I remember Hug there being a situation.
And I remember one time where... they were... It wasn't like a lockdown or like a drill or anything, though. Or...
At North Valleys or in Reno?
At either one. Mm-hmm. We never had that kind of response to anything there. It was one time, somebody pulled a fire alarm, right? And you do an evacuation. Mm-hmm. And then one time I remember the campus police, raiding the shit out of this kid's locker and hooking him up. Because he had something in his locker, but we never knew what it was. Somebody said it was a gun. Mm-hmm. But that was as close as I ever got. And it was never even consideration. Really.
Yeah, especially at North Valleys. I mean, who was the dangerous kid? Who was the most dangerous kid at North Valleys?
Who was?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
There were some little pricks that thought they were hard.
Privileged white kids.
Yeah. And even the kids that were like, that probably fit in better at Hug, if we want to say that. There were some kids that we went to school with, and they were underclassmen when we were junior seniors. But like they were just like little pukes that thought they were fucking gangsters, and they talked a lot of shit. Nothing ever happened.
Who talked the most shit? You got anything?
Fuck, dude. I remember this one little kid, and I don't remember his name now.
Underclassman, like
I believe he was an underclassman, and he was this little sawed off. It doesn't matter what his background was, but the reality was that he remember the main drag in the school,
the
hallway there right outside the theater.
Yeah.
There was a little door there, and Kelly, I don't remember her last name right now, but she was the
with the glasses.
I don't know if she had glasses or not.
Okay.
She was friends with Katie, and she was the battalion commander.
With the glasses?
Was she wear glasses?
I think so.
Okay. She was in ICP, she was black hair, real goth kind of
I think she had glasses.
Little
yeah.
Round. She was cool. She was friends. She knew what shape she was. But she was cool. And we hung out with her and shit, and she was doing some kind of fundraising thing where they were selling snacks during pass out of this little closet. So they would open the closet, and it was a half door, and they would have a little counter. And snacks behind the door.
I know what you're talking about.
She had chips and cookies and stuff back there, and you come up and you buy the snacks and you go. And this little puke comes up, and I'm standing there talking to her, and he comes in right in front of me and just reaches over the thing, takes some shit, and goes to bolt. And I grabbed him by the fucking collar before he got away and made him give it back. This is not the only time I did something like that, but I grabbed him by the shirt and he made him put it back, and I said, "You don't fucking steal shit from us." And I said, "This is literally for us at the school, like to raise money for us to do shit, and you're over stealing from us." And he goes, "You best get the fuck up off me. You know who you messing with. You messing with the 9 millies, nigga." And all this shit.
Don't say that.
This is exactly what he said to me, though. Like, sick quote, verbatim. He's telling me this, fuck them. It's language. And I don't care. Because he was calling me that.
Yes.
He says, "You know who you fucking with. You messing with the 9 millies," he tells me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't give a fuck who you hang out with. So you'll steal shit from our fucking concession stand. Now beat it. And then he talked shit all the way away, and that was the last time I ever seen him.
Haven't seen him since.
Nope.
He could be dead for all we know.
Who knows? Don't care. He obviously was not important to me.
Right.
He's not important to me now. He wasn't important to me then.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe he's a congressman.
Could be. They're all criminals.
They're all definitely fucking criminals. Canceled.
all the
fucking CIA's listening.
Politicos.
NSA. Data
President.
scraping.
Data scraping.
Totally not spy maroon.
They're gonna scrub this episode from the internet, like I've scrubbed episodes.
But yeah, I mean, no incidents.
Oh, another thing that happened though while we were at Hug was 9/11 happened. First year. I'm sorry. What the fuck?
It's alright. It's in your head.
North Valleys. While we were at North Valleys, first year.
Fuck, dude, I remember that. Actually,
like what? 2 weeks in? 3 weeks in?
Off topic. I just saw Come From Away.
I don't know what that is.
It's a play. It's a musical.
Okay.
We've been buying tickets to stuff at Pioneer to go see, Broadway stuff that comes to town. And Come From Away was a play about 9/11. And it's basically the story of how when they basically like grounded everything, they were just parking planes like at whatever fucking airport people could get to. They were like, go down to an airport right now. Don't care where the fuck you're coming from, where you're going, or where you think you got to be. Land it now. And they were treating all U.S.-based flights into and out of as potential threats.
Right.
Because that's what happened in New York.
Yep.
And
DC.
So they grounded the plays about a town in Newfoundland. And they grounded 38 planes in a town where 9,000 people lived. 9,000. And at 38 planes, 2 to 220 apiece. You do the math.
Right.
Right? Their population went insane.
Yeah.
And they were there for 5 days. And the population of this little town assisted and helped the passengers, survive in the town on the ground, food, shelter, hanging out, all the stuff that people needed. And it was a really good story about that, but it made me think about 9/11 because it's like, where were you?
Well, it's like
what were you doing when
now
you found
that I'm
out?
at work with all these youngins?
Oh yeah.
Like,
they're like, Grandpa Matt, tell us a story about the olden days.
Some weren't even born when 9/11 happened. That's so gross. It's super gross to think that. Like, oh, yeah, I guess you will never know what it was like to be alive and with it.
Yeah.
When like you're
it's
waking
like Pearl
up,
Harbor.
you're waking up. Yeah, I guess
Same kind of thing.
But we don't talk to them. I don't know anyone that was like...
It's the same.
I don't think it is, though.
Eventually...
I don't think they thought about things that we think about today. Like, I don't think it really mattered when they were, like, 40 and, like, they're, 20-year-olds that are, like... I honestly don't think that they were like, oh, it's so weird that you weren't even born during World War II.
Yeah, maybe not. And the
like
media information transfer now and even in 01 is so fast and so available.
Well, I mean, like...
It was pre-cell phone.
The
well,
radio
not cell phone, but
kicks on to wake you up to get ready for school, and they're talking about it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what? What is this?
See, I had a buzzer. That's not how I heard about it.
That's how I heard about it.
You heard it on the alarm clock radio?
On the alarm clock radio. Or like, it might have went on, and then I would turn the radio to my station.
Right.
And they were talking about it while I was getting ready, and I was like, what? What is this? Huh. Right? You don't really understand the severity of what the situation is until it does start growing and information gets bigger and bigger. And, like, I get on the bus to go to school, and the bus driver's like, hey, is it okay if I just keep listening to this, And so, like, we listened to the news coverage the entire way to school. So. But then we're in school and we're learning. I don't remember if they even had it on, like, a TV.
So I remember a little bit.
Like, we were in the same 2 classes.
Yeah. So I had like a beep beep alarm clock.
Yep.
Because I wake up better to it. I'll sleep right through the radio.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just incorporate it into a dream.
Sure.
But I woke up and I'm getting ready, and I was coming downstairs because I lived with my dad out in Red Rock at the time, and I remember walking down the stairs, and the living room, the big screen is, opposite the stairs. So I come around and I go in the kitchen, and I'm gonna grab some food and head out the door to get on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was sitting in his recliner watching the news, which was kind of odd because my dad was not a super morning person. He still isn't. But he would occasionally get up and make sure I got out to school. And
see, no one had cell phones. So, you weren't, like, texting people. Like,
I had a cell phone.
Like,
it was a cricket phone, but we were not texting at the rate that we do now.
Like, when the dude shot up Vegas, 2017, October 1st. Like, my brother was at the hospital. His girlfriend was giving birth to their, my nephew.
And then they're funneling in casualties.
And, like, my brother-in-law lives there. So, like, when I woke up and I saw that news, I'm fucking texting right away. Like, are you cool? Are you cool? Are you good? Because my brother-in-law worked in that building.
In that
he shot out of.
Oh, wow. But I remember seeing... I saw it on the news.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing the visual first. I'm not hearing what they're saying.
So what was the timing?
Dude, I came down, and it might have been... Because you're talking East Coast time.
Right, so I'll get the calculations here. Go ahead, keep telling your story.
Because our school day would have started it started 7:50? Is when our...
Yeah, I believe so.
Our school day started?
Right, and I would wake up at 6.
Yeah. So, I'm probably catching the bus, close to 7:15, typically.
Mm-hmm.
But I come down the stairs, and I come around the corner, and I, like, grab something off the counter, and I'm running late.
So check this out. So the first plane hit at 8:46 a.m. So 3 hours before that. So like 5:46, right? So it would have, it would have
46
just
our time.
Yeah. So it would have just happened
At
right
6.
before I woke up.
Right. So it had both towers had already been hit by the time I was up, probably.
Oh yeah, because 15 minutes later the other one was struck. 17 minutes.
So that's
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yeah. So 5:45, 6 o'clock.
Yeah. So I missed the whole thing by, the live action report by an hour, almost. I'm gonna guess. And I come downstairs and I see the news, and I just see these 2 giant buildings smoking, and they're playing the replay of the plane hitting.
I can picture
the second plane hitting the building.
That image is like burned in my head.
Yeah. And this is how strange it was to me. As I go up to my dad, I go, "Oh, what movie is this?"
Oh no.
That's what I said.
Oh wow.
Because my dad typically wasn't a news guy.
Right.
But he was a movie guy.
Yeah.
And if he was up because he didn't feel good or he couldn't sleep or something, maybe he was watching a film.
Yeah.
So I come out and because it didn't look like real life to me.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of shit doesn't happen in real life.
Yeah.
That was my thought process at, the ripe old age of 15 years old.
And the fucked up thing is now it's like shit like that happens, like the school shootings and such. It's like you say that now. You can say that now.
Yeah.
Shit like that happens.
It does. And it's terrifying, dude, because like I have kids.
Yeah.
And my kids don't go to public school. They don't go to private school.
Mm-hmm.
They go homeschool.
Yeah.
And we've considered changing that, but it's like, I don't know that I will. And I don't know.
You don't know what the fuck
I don't know how to
right?
make that choice.
Yeah.
Like, how do I make the choice that, yeah, that kind of shit happens, but it's probably safe enough for you to go. I wouldn't want to go.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I wouldn't want to go.
Some girl just got stabbed over a fucking, like, the Red Baron area over here.
Is that right?
Yeah, some, like, 14-year-old grabbed a knife, went over to the other 14-year-old's house, and, like, stabbed her in the heart.
Jesus Christ.
Like a month ago, a couple weeks ago. Approximately 14, somewhere around that age.
And there's an epidemic of, like, kids, like, early teen kids, like, committing suicide and shit.
Yeah.
And, you can say whatever you want about everything that's happened and that's going on right now, but what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like, how do we go from one extreme to another? To the extreme we're at now.
It's an extreme fucking world that we live in.
It's wild, though.
We should get back to the school stuff. We should get away from it.
So, anyway, I don't ever remember shit like that happening in school, though.
Right,
Like,
right.
it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
The most exciting thing that ever happened was on occasion, there was always this big beef between the rednecks and the fucking jocks and the skaters, and there was going to be a big fight going to be out in the parking lot, and so-and-so's going to beat so-and-so's ass. And I remember one of my buddies was probably Justin Brown, if I'm thinking of the right guy. And I remember he had his belt off. He had a 2-inch leather belt with a fucking giant belt buckle.
He wrapped it around his hand?
And he had it wrapped around his hand like he was going to beat somebody's ass with it. And I'm looking at him going, dude, if you hit somebody with that in the fucking head, you're going to kill him. Like, that's dumb. Why don't you just punch him in the face? I didn't get into fights. I was like, you guys have fun with that. I'm going to fucking go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But, like, fighting? No thanks. I'll do it if I have to, but I won't. I don't want to.
Right. You never got close to fighting anyone? You didn't have a high school rival?
No. Again, another underclassman kid. He felt up my girlfriend. Like, while they were in class, he, like, grabbed her. Sexually assaulted her. I grabbed him by the shirt, and I fucking put him against the wall, and I told him.
Grabbed him by the balls and just fucking squeezed as hard as you could.
If I knew then what I know now, I probably would have. Just fucking crushed his useless little testicles. But, no, I told him, I said, if you ever touch a fucking woman like that again, you ever fucking be disrespectful like that again to a woman, and I find out about it, I will beat your fucking face into the back of your head. So I told him.
What about the good times that we had in high school?
The good times, man, they were all good times.
The Vitamin C song was popular when we were graduating.
Vitamin C song?
Yeah, you remember that?
I don't remember that. I have to look it up.
You know.
What do I remember that was...
We don't want to play any music because
funny.
YouTube might fucking...
Oh, we could fair use it, though.
No!
For 10 seconds.
YouTube is like...
They're like, no!
No.
Not at all.
This one, you know, people might listen to this one because I'm gonna name it. I'm gonna name it.
Get some SSO in there.
So maybe our graduating class might click over and be like, Cory and Matt are talking about us.
Yes, we are. Oh, man. What was good times?
I mean, the plays were fun for me. I got into it late. You got into it even later than I did. You did like one play, 2 plays.
I did 2. I did Arsenic and I did Camelot.
Yeah, Camel Snot.
And that was fun, but I mean...
But we had our own little group. The actors over there
Yeah.
didn't really... you know, socialize beyond the jocks. There were no jocks there. Vince Knight was the jock that did like a play. He did the middle play. That's what he tried to do.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
Because he did football and baseball.
Yep.
So he had a middle gray area where
he did that one play.
He did See How They Run.
Yeah.
And then he auditioned for Inspector. Didn't get it.
I auditioned for Inspector. I didn't get that either.
You know, Matthews was kind of... Like, I hear stories, like, I listen to podcasts and such. Right. It seems like back in the day, they used to cast the seniors, like, guaranteed in a play, since it's their last year.
Sure. And
they'd fill in the other roles with underclassmen. That way, you know, a senior will get a part.
Right.
So they can keep going.
That makes sense.
But Matthews also, like, he didn't pick your typical plays. You know, he didn't like do a play that had like enough parts for everyone.
Yeah.
He did like Inspector Calls. It was like a cast of like 8 or something. I was
going to say like 8 people.
And, you know, it was mostly juniors. We like the seniors were definitely outnumbered by the juniors in drama and theater. Well, like the class after us, 04.
Yeah.
Like there was a bunch of them and there was like a handful of us.
Well, yeah, I mean it was a small class anyway, and the kids that were into theater were few anyway.
Just a couple of holdovers from Hug.
And
it was like Brandon
people.
And Cory Forson.
Yeah, Brandon, Cory, Jeff.
Well, Jeff was a junior.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was a grade younger than us. So it was just like Brandon and Cory. And then there was Shannon.
Rico was a year older than us, right?
Yeah, Rico stayed at Hug. He graduated from Hug.
That's right. Crazy.
I was just thinking about that. Like, Rico and me are the only ones that are still kind of doing the thing. Rico's obviously professionally doing it.
Brandon does voice.
Does he?
Yeah. His audio
to this very day?
I don't know. I didn't ask him when the last time was he recorded a book.
I don't see him promoting himself on Facebook.
Yeah, because Instagram. He does audiobooks. It's not about him. It's about the book.
Ah.
He doesn't have to promote the book.
Sure he does.
The book promotes itself.
No, because you need to be like...
Nah.
No, because I've fucking submitted...
He's also a police. He's also a police officer.
The author or the person who's narrating this book fucking sucked. I want my money back.
But he's also a police officer.
Is he?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
Is he?
Last time I checked.
Okay.
I work kind of with his brother. His little brother.
Spencer.
Yeah.
Is he a dentist?
He's a doctor.
Is he a dentist?
He's a fucking orthopedic surgeon, dude.
Good for him.
Orthopedic surgeon.
No, it's funny. This is something that I think about. I think about the shit that kids used to say when we were in school.
Yeah.
And the shit that they used to do to each other when they were back in school. This person's fucking that person when they're really dating these other people. And, you know, the backstabbing, chicks backstabbing their best friends because one blew her boyfriend and fucked her boyfriend. And the shenanigans that went on. And now you see them like, oh, look, they're married now and they got kids. Maybe they started back then, like right after high school. But it's like, I heard stories and I wonder if their partner knows that's what was going on behind their back.
You never know.
Oh, man. Like, I don't want to drop any names here, but, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, man, these people were just, like, fucking whoever they could.
Did you ever get laid in high school?
No, I didn't.
Me neither.
So you were a virgin going out of high school?
Yeah. Never once got laid in high school. I mean, I got like... third base.
Bombs are being dropped.
I was like
if any of our fucking fellow alumnus are listening to this, they're laughing at us now.
Yeah, fuck them.
We can cut that out.
I also didn't get any STDs or anybody pregnant.
No.
But I was rounding the shit out
No
of third
abortions.
base. We'll go there. I was rounding the shit out of third base.
I mean, a little bit of that myself. Yeah. But with knowing that we went to high school with, it was somebody that went to another school.
That's what they always say.
In Canada.
In Canada. In Canada.
Well, no, you dated people that went to our school. I did not.
Yeah.
I tried to, but was turned down.
It was tough. It was tough.
Flatly turned down.
You think it had anything to do with your heritage?
Being Native American?
Yeah.
Everyone thinks I'm white.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were Mexican for the longest time.
I mean, like...
You looked kind of
one
Mexican.
shade of brown. Like, in
Versus
the winter, I'm white. In the summer, I'm
like
a little
right
darker.
now, you're super pasty right now.
Yeah, because the sun doesn't fucking come out because it won't fucking stop snowing.
Where do we live? In fucking Washington?
Nevada.
Bullshit.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Do you ever run into anybody?
Run into people?
Yeah, any randos?
Occasionally. I'm trying to think of the last person I ran into. I run into fucking Kelly sometimes. Ryan Kelly.
He's doing a movie with Greg.
Is he?
Yeah, I remember
really?
you telling... Yeah, see, I knew you were
going
to react that way.
What a cocksucker.
I knew you were going to react that way.
Ryan Kelly, you motherfucker, you. Because I remember asking you, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do stuff like that.
Right, and I said that to Greg.
I just like doing theater. I don't want to do stuff. Fuck you. I love you, Ryan. I'm just fucking kidding. I'm glad you got into it.
No, fuck you.
It's fucking good time, but fuck you anyway. I said, but fuck you. Maybe it changed his perspective. He's got a girlfriend now.
I mean,
don't want to talk
had
shit about people. Yeah, but he has a girlriend right now. Maybe he's in a good mood. And when he didn't have a girlfriend.
Okay.
And he got pitched, or saw a thing. They run in the same circle a little bit. The Reno's artist group is a little bit bigger now.
I hate the fucking artist group.
Yeah, we just don't want to do other people's shit.
No, they don't want nothing to do with me, but that's okay. I'm making features.
It's fine, and that's what you want to do.
I'm winning awards.
It's good. I'm not saying it's bad.
Fuck them.
Everybody do what you want to do.
No. They all hang out and know each other, okay?
Yeah, and you aren't the most outgoing person.
They can reach out.
But why would they?
They're all blowing each other.
You would have to get in on it.
I would have to get on the blowies?
Yeah.
See, I don't do that, though. I don't do that.
And that's the thing. Like, it's a give and take thing. Got to bring some to get some.
But I don't want none.
Then don't take some.
Won't have none.
I'm just saying, like, that's how groups like that work.
Who'd you pal around with in high school?
I kind of prided myself on being the chameleon of all groups. Like, I was in theater with you guys. And then I was in ROTC.
Rotzy Nazi.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
I guess.
Canceled.
It was never offensive to me because I was in ROTC and I thought it was cool.
Yes, but you didn't go to high school in 2023.
That's true. I don't know what that means.
It means that people are sensitive now.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
What were your pronouns back then, Cory?
My pronouns were failing English for most of junior year and most of senior. I didn't fail it, but I was failing the class for most of the year because I didn't. Okay, here's one thing about school.
You weren't blowing anybody.
I was not blowing anybody. I did not do homework.
Yeah.
Pretty much throughout high school. I didn't do homework, and I probably read a grand total of 3 books the entire time because they were books that I wanted to read.
Well, they assigned us books.
Exactly.
Oh, Pioneers.
Didn't read it. Don't even remember that being a book that we were supposed to read.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
I never read a single book. Except for The Great Gatsby, but I speed readed it.
Sped
read. Read the whole thing in 6 hours, and then took the final the next day. Aced it.
Man, that final is such a fucking bullshit thing, dude.
And that was the thing.
What a scam.
I passed all my classes based on test taking.
Oh, you know what? I remember when I was in high school. I don't remember who it was, but somebody was in my first semester of English in senior year. But he had taken a semester during summer school. So he didn't have to take that second semester of English. Thus didn't have to do a senior project.
What a cocksucker.
Who the fuck was that?
I don't know.
It was like Jake Hopper, maybe?
Maybe. I mean,
was he in my? I don't think it was him though.
I don't know. Because we had. Were you in my English class?
No, senior year. No.
That's right. We got split.
I had the crazy English teacher. That she was like a lesbian chick, but she like would cuss, and she might have been bipolar or something.
Maybe.
And she was like, she would throw shit and she would yell, but then she would come like right back and be like, you know what, I'm sorry, I was way out of line, I shouldn't have done that.
Whack.
And then then she didn't get asked to come back the next year.
Bet.
Yeah, no, she was fucking crazy.
What the fuck was my teacher's name?
I think she got complained about to the staff. You had the big blonde lady, right?
The tall blonde lady.
Yeah.
I actually had her class at TMCC for Comp 101.
Did you
After
get
I
any
graduated
degrees
high school.
in college, or?
I got an associate's degree.
Did you?
I did. Yeah.
I only took a bunch of film classes.
Yeah? Did you get any
Nah.
paper?
Nah.
Yeah. I've been thinking about going back to school again.
To teach?
For welding.
Don't get VD from a male welder.
What fucking planet does that come from?
George Carlin. It's a George Carlin bit.
You know what nobody talks about anymore? Pussy farts.
Pussy farts. Shit you don't see. Someone taking a shit running high speed. Shit you don't see.
Know why they put a cock on the top of a weather vane? Because if it was a pussy, wind would blow right through it.
Yeah.
George
Don't get VD from a male welder, Corey. Don't get VD from a female welder.
No thanks. Yeah, I don't know. What else was...
what were we talking about?
I don't know. We were talking about high school, man.
We were, but I mean, like, how did we get to... we're talking about college. What were we talking about before... Oh, we were talking about teachers that we had
grades.
and people.
Oh, like, yeah, I fucked off in high school, man. Like, I didn't do shit.
Well, you liked science. I didn't like science. You went on to do
I loved
AP
science.
chemistry? Or no, what was it that you did
I
after?
took chemistry
Well,
junior year.
we had Geyer.
Yep.
We had Mr. Geyer, and he was a funny guy.
I love Mr. Geyer. He's retired now.
And then you took his...
I took his...
next up class.
Physics class.
Physics.
That was actually a funny story. It's not that funny. It's not like, haha, funny. But it's like, it's interesting, right?
Yes.
So, I'm the kid that's fucking off in school.
Yep.
I don't want to do schoolwork.
Right.
I did good in geometry because Mrs. Pettingill was dope.
Okay.
Right? I liked her.
Right.
And she made things make sense.
Yep.
And I did well in geometry because it made sense to me.
Yep.
And I was in chemistry, which I didn't really care for.
Hated science.
But Mr. Geyer was cool as shit.
Geyer was cool.
And I liked him.
You know what he
goes...
do? He would do the, all right, I'm going to tell you how to do this, but I want you to forget it.
That sounds right.
Because he wanted to teach a different way or something like that. He's like, this is the way you're supposed to do it, but I want you to forget it. And I remember, like, Carrie Sattler would get all pissed off about that.
Because she was so, like, by the books, man. She was...
super by the books. And now she's, like, what, the head of
she's a rodeo.
Yeah, head of the rodeo or something like that. And the chick that was in my movie, Savage, she's like the fucking queen of the rodeo too.
Oh, really?
Like she's always like the one that
Which
wins,
one?
like the little blonde girl that was in Savage.
Dallas?
No, that's Midnight Bloodshed.
That's right.
Caitlin Hill, or the little blonde girl that was the lock picker.
Oh, yeah. I do remember seeing her. I saw her in the program.
Yeah. She's
this
like
last
the
year.
princess, the queen, and she
She's
goes
the
all
queen,
over the
queen
states
and queen of
to
the
represent
rodeo.
the Reno Rodeo and shit
That's
like
cool,
that.
man.
So,
like, I'm not involved in anything. I think that's fucking cool.
you make movies with me?
I know, but that's like, it's not that.
Midnight Bloodshed just won Best Fucking Feature, Best Director, Best Special Effects.
High five.
You didn't get the name call on that. Michaela got it, but
It's fine. I got creds for the...
What did you put together for Midnight Bloodshed?
I just mostly
You were
did,
sucking
like, some
dick.
dumb shit.
You were servicing the actor.
I was servicing. I was the fluffer.
I mean, you were there for when we cut off the leg and strung the
Yeah,
dude
I didn't
up.
make anything though.
Are you sure?
Not
You
really.
didn't put anything together?
Yeah. I did the machetes, but that was like prop design.
You also fought Jason.
I did fight Jason.
That's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I don't want that in this podcast.
Then cut it out.
But then I have to put work in. I haven't put any work in this fucking podcast.
Recorded a fart.
Do we have any high school bombs to drop?
High school bomb droppage.
Not like the 9/11.
Not literally.
The drop while we were there.
Figurative informational drops.
You know, on senior year, at the end of, like, the last day, I remember, was it Tapia? The security guy?
Yeah, Officer Tapia.
Fucking, like, I was walking with someone, and he fucking, like, jerked me on the back of the neck because he thought I threw a water balloon. Because kids were throwing, like, everyone, fucking million people in the hallway, leaving, coming and going, excited to get out. They're throwing some water balloons, and he thought I did.
So my buddy, Nick, spent the evening, the day before the last day of school, filling water balloons.
Oh, what the fuck?
And putting them into the bed of his pickup truck.
Yeah.
Because he had put a tarp in there, and then he put a hose with water.
Right, so they don't pop.
So they don't pop.
Yeah.
And then, like, filled the fucking bed of his truck with water balloons. And he was a play-by-the-rules kind of guy. Mm-hmm. He was like, we're not going to do it at the school because they told us if we do it at the school, blah, 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 you don't get to graduate or whatever. So we go, okay, well, we're going to go to the park.
Yep.
The Golden Valley Park down the street from the school.
Yeah.
So we went. And we went over there. We had fucking, like, I don't know, 20 of us had baller fucking
on the last
water
day of
balloon
school.
fight. Yeah, as I recall.
That was
Could have been junior year.
So
can't remember now.
Senior sunrise, senior sunset.
But the cops showed up. I remember that.
At the park?
When we had a water balloon fight. One of the neighbors called.
What a fucking
said we were littering,
shit.
and they came and they fucked us up, and they made us fucking pick up little water balloon shards all over the park.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck you guys. And it was because some cunt had thrown her notebook up in the air and just scattered papers all over the park. And it was like,
someone got all excited about it.
They had her name on them. It was fucking stupid. But yeah, they were butthurt about that. And then they blamed all of us.
So did you do like senior sunrise, senior sunset?
Yeah, I went to those. I remember that.
Both of them? Just the
I
one?
I did senior sunrise.
I did sunset.
Was the early one out at the football park.
Right, I didn't do that one.
It was like, I remember writing a letter to myself and kind of hanging out. We took pictures, I think. And it was dumb. And we just like kind of just hung out. It was too early to be at school. And we were sitting out there and it was like, there was fucking, I think there was food of some kind.
Yeah.
And we were there and then we went to class.
There's probably hot chocolate.
Yeah, maybe. And then
senior
sunset was kind of cool because there was like some field games and stuff.
The water slide.
There was a water slide. There was water balloons. We were running around, fucking off, having a good time, playing football. That was fun. I remember that.
You know what else we could talk about? Prom.
Yeah, I do remember that. Who did I take? Prom was weird for me, actually.
Oh, I wish I had the pictures. I've got pictures.
Yeah, I had a weird prom because was it senior year? No, I don't remember which year it was.
Senior year. I didn't go junior.
I had asked a girl who was a junior when I was a senior to go to prom with me early in the year. Which I guess was probably stupid.
You dying over there?
I might be.
I've got beer.
Janice.
Oh yeah, Janice Nermy.
I asked Janice to go to the prom with me.
I also asked a junior, I was turned down.
Early in the year. Right? And then, because I liked Janice.
Yeah.
I wanted to date her.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was not mutual. She wanted to date Chris. I don't remember his last name.
Senior?
Little, skinny, scrawny dude. Yeah. He was in our class.
Was he? Yeah. Chris?
I think his name was Chris. Something.
I don't remember.
I know him. I can see his face. Rat face. It was the 03 yearbook. Maybe.
I mean, the yearbook's right here. So she told you. So when you asked her early in the year.
Yeah, she wasn't seeing anybody, so.
She said maybe?
Or maybe he was a junior.
Probably was a junior.
And that's probably why.
I don't remember any Chris's. I'm not saying that there wasn't, but like I can't think of any Chris's in our class. It's a common name too.
Yeah. Hard to say. Anyway, is that Russell?
Russell.
Still around, apparently. Still around town.
It was funny. Ever at Hug, I hung out with Russell and Brian hardcore, and we were like listening to Insane Clown Posse. We were like juggalos.
Nice.
And then I didn't hang out with them at all. Senior year. That's when I started hanging out with Brandon.
That's
and
hilarious.
you. Yeah, like.
So anyway, I asked Janice to the prom, and then
Oh shit!
What, you got running out of space?
Not running out of space, but we just shot through an hour like it's nothing.
Oh yeah. So then, like, coming up on prom,
yeah,
I'm dating Katie. Katie's my girlfriend.
There's no. I know what you're. I know. Yeah. Go ahead. So where's this going? Go on. I'm excited.
Who do you think I took to prom?
Your girlfriend. No.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was a man of morality.
But you just told me that she liked another dude.
I found out she liked another dude after the fact. So I had already invited her to go.
So she wasn't understanding to be like, hey, I understand you got a girlfriend now.
She had bought a dress.
Oh, what
all
the
this stuff.
fuck
I don't know,
is
man.
this?
Fucking weird.
Well, no, hold on.
Weird
though.
sitch.
It was a junior-senior prom, anyways.
I don't
It
remember.
was no, it was. So juniors and seniors were both allowed to get their tickets.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So she could have gone even if you didn't take her.
It was weird.
Now check this out.
Weird
No.
choice.
This
weird
bullshit.
Choice.
Check this bullshit out, okay?
Go ahead.
So same situation. I asked a junior out to prom.
Right.
You remember who I asked out?
Who would it have been?
It was Brianna.
Yeah.
Brianna Fager. And she didn't give me an answer right away. Right? And this was near the end of the year. And Nan wanted to go with me. Right? And so she, it's so funny. She fucking really put Brianna on the fucking pedestal there. And she was like, hey, are you going to go or not? Give me that. What the fuck are you doing? My mail.
Fell out from between the books.
You don't got to read it. Right? And Nan's like, are you going to go out with him or not? Are you going to go to the prom with him or not?
Just put her on the spot.
Put her on the spot. She was like, I didn't want to have to go over that just yet. So she was like, no, I'm not going to go with you. Right? She did not go to prom with me. Okay? But the group of people that I went to prom with, she was friends with one of their date. Like, I went with Jacob Hopper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And who he took was her friend that she was going with. So, like, we were at the same dinner. We were in the same group of people. I went stag eventually because Brianna took so long to respond that Nan went with, I'm pretty sure she went with Justin.
Wow. That blows my mind.
Yeah,
That's bullshit, bro.
It is what it is.
100%.
Nah, it's fine.
But
I did not. I struck out like all throughout fucking high school, dude.
High school is rough, man.
I mean, when I was at Hug, I was hung up on someone who didn't even go to Hug and wouldn't give me the time of day, which is why I got into that fight with Dean over, was this same girl.
Okay.
And, like, there was just all water under the bridge eventually once I went to North Valleys. And then, like, a couple other people I asked out. I got turned down for. I'm sure people, if anyone listens to this, I'm sure they're like, yeah, because you're you, man. What else, Corey? What else do we got as you look through the yearbook looking for people?
Man, it's just funny to see everybody's faces.
It's insane. It's insane.
And it's funny because, like, high school is like a distant story. It's a different life.
It was.
It's a literal lifetime away.
Yeah.
Lifetime ago. We've been out of high school for longer than we were ever in school to begin with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, if you start putting shit
Oh,
in
yeah,
perspective.
absolutely.
And
this is what we were talking about. We're talking about the last day of school. Did you go to any graduation parties?
So I did.
Was it the last day of school? No, it wasn't the last day of school.
No.
It was graduation day.
Graduation day. So I did.
Did you go to Cory? Did you go to Cory's house?
No.
Forson?
Nope.
We all went to Cory Forson's house.
Wasn't invited.
Were you not invited, or did you have another thing to go to?
Don't know.
Safe and sober.
Yeah, I went to the Safe and Sober to school.
We were safe and sober at Cory's house.
Yeah. And then
I think they started drinking after I got a ride home.
And then the next night, my buddy's parents had gotten him a hotel room at the Pepper Mill.
Where you were not safe and sober.
Where we were safe, but we were not sober.
How safe were you? Condom safe?
Didn't get laid.
Still?
I threw up on the bed.
Sounds like something you would do.
Drank probably 3/4 of a bottle of 151 to myself.
Holy shit.
I was partying, man. It was first time I'd ever done like serious shots like that. I'd like drinking way too much beer before, but I'd never drank hard alcohol.
Oh yeah,
like
I got drunk for the first time on New Year's Eve with like Dean and Mikey.
Yeah.
We were doing shots of tequila, dude.
Yeah.
So
that's
like
bad.
Tequila, if that's the first shit that I drank, now tequila is like goes to that memory, right? It's like, oh, this is that shit.
That's why I don't drink.
Where we were off,
anymore,
like we were eating pizza, cold pizza. Maybe it wasn't cold, but it might have been. And like we threw up all that pizza. Like I remember, like Mikey was running around with the camera, and at one point, like we were all trying to go to bed or something, right? We were all fucking like on the floor and everything else, and like you just. Like at the end of the night, you just hear this, like the sound of something going into like a plastic bag. He just threw up into the garbage can.
Yep.
Like he couldn't keep his shit together once he put the camera down. Like that camera was like steadying his gaze so he didn't fucking get all tipsy and throw up all over the floor. But no, we fucking like throwing up, and my mom's trying to like keep the mayhem at a minimum level or whatever.
The damage control.
God.
Yep. We drank far too much alcohol that night.
You graduated, right?
I did. Yeah.
Very good.
Got like a 2.7 GPA.
So yeah, prom.
Yeah, prom was.
Were you done with your prom story?
Yeah, I didn't take my girlfriend.
And who won? It was Reese.
And we dated for 3 more years after that.
Well, what was her thoughts on it? She had to have gone, right? She was a senior.
She didn't go. She wasn't allowed to go.
Because
she...
Don't want us to bring it up here?
As I recall, she was on academic...
her grades were bad?
Yeah. So she couldn't go.
Oh. What the fuck? You're making this story sound like you were being the bad guy, so like...
That was the point. I was supposed to sound like it was a hard choice, because it was a hard choice. I either don't go, and I stay home with my girlfriend, or I had already invited this girl to go.
So you went with Janice?
Yeah.
Just 2 of you? What was the group you were with?
Fuck, dude, I don't remember. Did I go with Nick that year? I think so.
I think everyone who wanted to go in my group were the people who all wanted to be with other people anyways.
High school's like that, man. Fucking nobody knows what they want.
Like, oh, hey, I asked you out, but we're ending up... You said no, but we're ending up in the same fucking spot anyways.
Exactly. I took a girl to the ROTC ball sophomore year. She was...
Freshman?
A year older than me.
We're at Reno?
At Reno?
Fuck Reno.
So she was a junior.
I don't even know where... Oh, you know what? I
was in love with that girl. She was my older sister's friend. I just thought she was the hottest.
You don't have an older sister.
Yes, I do.
You don't have an older sister.
I do. She's my stepsister.
That doesn't count.
She's still my sister.
Nah, that don't count.
Whatever. She was friends with this girl, and I took her to RTC ball. And
didn't bang her.
Nope. She rode home in the limo
somebody else
alone.
Oh, she did leave with someone else. Lucky you.
I was upset.
Lucky you.
Didn't even get to feel the titties, man.
Oh, well.
She had big old jubblies.
Is she alive today?
She is.
Yeah? Married?
They
all are.
All are. I'm married and have kids.
I'm married without kids. I'm on a second marriage.
You have kids. They're just not yours.
Then I don't have them.
Yeah, you do.
Nah, someone else has them.
You don't have to raise them. Used to be Grandpa Matt.
You're a funny guy.
Ah.
We're not talking about me. We're talking about
talking
your
about
misfortune.
You're talking about my misfortune.
Your misfortune.
Yeah.
Your
No.
You just set that down. I'll fix it later.
But she was
so you don't knock shit out.
No, she was. She like understood.
What was her name?
Who?
The ROTC ball chick.
Oh my God. Amanda.
You don't even know.
No, okay. I do. It's somewhere. It's just like, dude, that was over 20 years ago.
Sure.
And that information is like so like tucked in the back of my mind. I know her last name.
Here, check this out.
But I can't remember it.
When I went to Hug.
Bryant.
Amanda Bryant. When I went to Hug, we had, this is just memory lane shit, but we had 2 different schedules. Did you have that at Reno?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so
no, we had actual lunch
you'd have 1 through 6, and then you'd have 2 through 7. 2 through 7. And like my last period of the day, I had 2 through 7. My last period of the day was PE. Sometimes I would just get on the early bus and go home. Skip out on fucking PE.
I used to skip. I don't even remember what class it was. I think it was homeroom.
At Reno?
No, at North Valleys.
Well, first off, we didn't call homeroom that. That was something they called it fucking the generation older than us.
What was it called? Because they didn't do it both years. They only did it one year.
It was called... No, we had something different.
Remember, though?
I remember at O'Brien, we had an early... We had... Oh, what was that called? Did it start with an N or something like that?
I don't know.
We had something at O'Brien. We had an opening class to the day.
Right.
That was a non-educational class.
We had that at North Valleys, and it was one
period
day a week
on a Friday
or something. One period.
Yeah.
And it was usually at the end of the day.
It was called like something.
It was something stupid.
Something real.
But it was like that. It was like a homeroom class.
It was. And you're calling it homeroom because that's what all the older people than us called it homeroom when they went to school.
But that's what it would have been.
But like at Hug, I didn't. There wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't have that at Reno either. Yeah. But they tried that, and I would skip that class because mine was in my ROTC classroom.
Mm-hmm. It was convenient for you to be able to.
I was the fucking battalion commander, dude. I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. And I was in theater that year. I was in Camelot, and I was already butting heads with those guys in ROTC with the colonel and the fucking sergeant, fucking whatever, Questenberry, whatever the fuck his name was. Okay. They were mad at me because I wouldn't shave.
Oh.
Because I was not shaving for Camelot.
Right.
I just told them, I was like, I'm in
your
theater.
Job you couldn't shave either.
And I couldn't shave.
Or you had to shave for your job.
No.
Okay.
They just wanted me to keep it like groomed.
Yeah.
Right? Couldn't be wild. And it was like, I was like 17, dude.
16.
Like, I could barely grow any facial
you just
hair
had a birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah. That was 2 weeks ago-ish.
38. I'm still 37, bitch.
I'm the old man.
Oh,
hey, you fucking kids.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Anyway, and they were pissed at me. So when I had that whatever fucking weird class it was, pass homeroom bullshit.
Pass? Was it pass?
No.
Or they called it pass eventually.
Eventually, but it wasn't. Because it was like a 40-minute class.
Yeah.
And it was like so you could do homework and take some fucking bullshit math thing.
They could talk to you on the video on the thing.
Yeah, it was dumb. So what I would do is I would borrow. You remember Mike?
Laughlin.
Mike Laughlin.
Yes.
I would borrow his truck.
Mm-hmm.
And
you were able to get out of the building?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I would go out because the RO building had a back room and then through the range, and then there was a door that went out in the parking lot. And at the end of the day, they had already unlocked the gate.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't like locking it down towards the end of the day. So I would go out and I would grab Mike's truck and I would drive down to Audi Boulevard and I would get Audi.
Okay.
And I would get Egg Roll King. And I would I would get whatever that people wanted. Like I was going to get something for me and for Katie, and Mike let me borrow his truck. So I got him lunch and I would go down and get the Chinese food and I'd come back because I had theater rehearsal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'd come back and I'd park his truck in the parking lot and I'd meet him at the exit of the RO hall and I'd throw him his keys, and I'd give him his cashew chicken, and then I would go over to the theater, and Katie would hang out and do homework, and I would
remember that.
Eat my Chinese food, and then fucking go.
I remember we were backstage one day. Was it Camelot? It had to have been Camelot. And, like, a couple of us, you were back there with her, and I was back there, and I remember Jeff came in, and he was like, smells like cancer in here. and you were like, well, Ryan Kelly just came through.
Oh, that's fucked up.
And it was like, man, wouldn't that be fucked up if he actually had cancer? Like, I'd feel bad. I would. I'd genuinely feel bad. We had a hard time with Ryan Kelly back then in theater.
I mean, he was highly unmedicated back then.
Oh, is he on medication now?
I mean, he was on medication back then.
I mean, he like we had a real
not to
hard
talk
time.
shit about
yeah,
him.
not to talk shit
like,
about
was,
him.
Like, but his like emotional swing was fucking wild, man.
It was. It was crazy.
I don't think that's the word you can use, but yeah, it was pretty wild.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
Crazy, man.
But if you think about it, like kids that age are fucking emotionally and hormonally unstable anyway.
Sure.
Like we were all fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Just to a different degree. Like, oh man, I wish I had fucking half the energy I had back then.
Gosh. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Any last stories? Anything good to go out on? Any juicy gossip? Who's still alive? Who's dead?
Fuck, dude. Who's dead? I don't know if he went to school with us at North Valleys, but a guy that I know that's our age just passed away the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Justin Nelson.
Doesn't sound familiar to me.
I think he went to Hug.
Mm.
And he would have been different crew.
Different age?
No, same age, just
okay.
different like social group.
Justin Nelson. Is he in one of these?
Probably.
Hug yearbooks?
I mean, he's in our class, like our year,
Our grade.
our grade.
I mean, we're gonna sit here and look at books while we're talking, but
but yeah, he passed away.
you can't think of anyone that we went to North Valleys with.
We lost Tim, didn't we?
Yeah,
Did
but
you
he
say Tim?
was you're younger than us.
He's still at school with us.
Who was in our graduating class?
That has died?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
I know Darren Dunn is no longer with us.
Darren Dunn was not in our class.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Don't be fucking stupid. Comment. I hope our class comments and calls you a fucking idiot.
Maybe I am an idiot. I remember Darren Dunn, but I don't
He
know.
hung out with, like, Justin and Alan and Cody and Kyle. Shout out to those guys.
I thought he was younger than us.
No, he was the same grade.
Maybe he's just shorter.
You know, he used to hang out a lot with, like, in middle school. I remember him hanging out with Ryan Robinson.
Yeah.
Who went on to be, like, great friends with Corey Forson. And then he never...
Corey Penna.
Yeah. Well, those kids hung out. And I eventually snuck my way in a little bit near the end of high school. Like, I used to fucking hacky sack with Corey Penna.
Yeah. Those were the days, man.
Hacky sack. There's a picture in the yearbook of me hacky sacking on that circle out,
Is that right?
Out the back. Yeah.
We used to do that, man. So much fun. See, and that's the thing. Like, high school was a great time for just not giving a shit. Like, you were just doing what you were supposed to do because you were trying to keep the grown-ups from crawling up your ass about it. And that was it. Like, you just did your shit so that nobody would climb up your ass.
Sometimes I get nostalgic for, like, the lunches. Like, the high school pizza, high school hamburger. Like, Hug more so than North Valley. I don't think I ate anything during lunch at North Valleys.
That's funny. Katie went to Hug.
Oh, yeah, all those kids did.
Oh my God, who am I looking for?
Justin Nelson.
That's right.
And you're saying he was one of us?
Like 99%. Oh, there he is right there.
You found him?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, right here. Oh, yeah, I think he did go to North Valleys. Did he go to North
He
Valleys?
died on Monday.
Really? What happened to him?
Don't know.
Way to bring this down.
I mean, you asked me who died.
Yeah, I know. We lost.
Justin just passed away.
We lost. I know we lost
Charlie.
Darren. Yeah, we lost Charlie too. I don't know how.
I don't know either. I didn't know.
I know.
Well.
I think
mean,
Darren rolled his truck or something. I think he was a big drinker.
Darren and his wife.
They
were leaving a friend's house, like out here, like on this end of town, and then they lived in Cold Springs, and they were going, or they were living in Cold Springs, one or the other, but they were going over to Anderson.
Yeah.
And they weren't wearing their seatbelts.
And drunk too, right?
I don't know that.
I think
I wouldn't
because
speak to the fact that
he worked with me, and my neighbor over here at the apartments he worked with him closely. Like he was a maintenance guy, and he said that he was a big drinker, partied a lot.
It's wild. So I used to run into him down at A&W.
Darren?
Yeah, and his
he
dad.
Worked at A&W?
No, his dad had a drag car. And they would take it down to A&W in the summertime. Just Wednesday
Sparks?
nights. No, the one over
in Reno?
Well, that's not there.
Not there anymore.
But there was a cruise in, and they would bring your car out.
Sure, yeah.
And they would always bring the drag car out and hang out, and I'd run into them and we'd hang out. But yeah, it's fucking wild.
I wonder if there's anyone else that's gone.
I mean,
I know of a couple juniors. I know Tim Johnson died, and Greg told me that.
How did Tim die?
Brian Ford died. But yeah,
it's wild, man. So
pour one out for our lost.
Pour one out for our lost homies from the class of 03.
20 years ago.
But yeah, I mean, all the people that I've come across or that I, you know, Facebook friends are. You kind of like I don't talk to anybody.
You're the only one.
I
force
exist,
it on occasion.
I exist in parallel with people's lives, and I'm like David Brown.
Yeah.
I played Little League with him, and Kyle Hansen, and some of those guys, the upper class, the popular kids, the varsity jocks.
Yeah, no, the career school people.
Yeah, and they were, they were the cool kids, right? But I went to elementary school with all those guys, and I played Little League with them up until they started playing high school ball.
Right.
So I was like de facto in their group, not in their group, but like I was familiar. So I was already cool just by being near them.
You went to O'Brien?
Yeah.
What year did you go to O'Brien?
I went to O'Brien for 8th grade.
8th grade.
Yeah.
What was your core teachers? Who were your core teachers? Because you weren't in my core group.
No.
But my guys, I saw them a lot.
I
like David Brown and that crew.
Yeah.
They were in my core group at O'Brien. It was
but I was
Moisen,
never really...
Burton, and Cutler.
Played baseball with the Cutler boys. Their mom was a teacher over there. Yeah. Jeremy and...
Yeah, Jeremy. Jeremy's the only one I remember.
He had a little brother.
Because I think she brought him in on occasion.
Yeah.
Or maybe was he a year younger?
Jeremy, I think, maybe he was a couple years younger than us. I don't remember. I remember him from baseball, though. But, yeah, man, I mean, I don't really run into or talk to anybody in particular.
Who still lives in town?
Fuck, a bunch of people do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Huh.
So everybody's just kind of... This thing, dude. Like, we're all busy. We got shit to do.
Well, it's funny. It's like I don't even run into my coworkers outside of work.
That's true.
It's so
I occasionally
strange.
run into people on the street, but like I'm more. I work with like 400 people. There's 2 IT guys and 400 employees that I support. They all know who I am. Mm-hmm. So I'll run into people and they'll be like, "Hey, Cory," I'm like, "I don't know who the fuck that was," But I also don't go out a lot. Like, we don't go to the bar.
You fucking live in Cold Springs.
Exactly.
And you've got like 50 kids now.
I don't have 50 fucking kids. I have 3.
Yeah, but like you socialize like a guy with 50.
You can't have 2. You can't have 2.5 kids.
What does that mean?
The average is 2.5. You can't have 2.5. You gotta have 2 or 3. I never do anything half-ass. I do it all the way. I got a vasectomy at the beginning of the year.
Did you really?
I did. Got got the real deal, man. Cut them nuggets out. Just snip the
How
tubes.
was that?
Very discomfortable.
Was it? Probably no different than when I got my hernia surgery.
It was probably a lot like it. Like, it was very uncomfortable.
But they didn't put you
right
out
after.
that.
No.
They put
that was the weirdest part. We should cover that on a different podcast. But it was very strange being awake and having somebody just like, you know, jostling with your boys.
All right, you're going to feel a pinch in 3, 1, 2, pinch.
Yep.
No, because Kevin Scott talked about it on Smodcast when he got it.
I think getting injected directly in the testicle was probably the most uncomfortable part of the procedure itself.
You should have just asked for a chemical castration.
No. I don't think so. But I will say, like, I should have taken the whole rest of the week off instead of just 3 days.
Oh, boy.
Because, man,
I was out for 2
weeks.
The
boys were fucking sore, tender, and swollen like a motherfucker.
That's great. Everyone's going to love
Just
it.
saying, I mean, swollen nuts.
This podcast took a real fucking curve.
Dude, we're all almost 40. Anybody who's still having kids now is fucking making a mistake.
Well, we're right around the corner from getting the finger up the ass.
Whew, not looking forward to that either. Making me feel old. I shouldn't say this, but my back hurts. I need to stand up.
Well, we can finish this off. Well, I hope the graduating class of 2003 from North Valleys High School listens and remembers us fondly. I hope we didn't offend anybody.
That was never the intention.
I know Corey dropped an N twice.
But it was in context. It was one time, and it was in context.
Well, if you're never back on the show again, you know
citation.
why.
If you get...
You can go hang out with Kevin Spacey and Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby.
Yeah, all those bad guys.
You can go hang out with them and podcast with them.
Yeah, this is the
cancel.
We are the ex-presidents. No.
Well,
it's a different movie.
Cory.
Mathew.
That's been Sequel Podcast for this week. I'm Matt Bonta.
Are you going to go
to
the reunion?
Is there one?
There's going to be one.
Is there?
Let's say there is one in June.
I don't know. Like, the last one I was not in a good spot for.
Yeah, but you're in a great spot now.
Am I?
I think so.
Maybe. Well, it all depends on what it is.
You have accolades, bro. You have shit to talk about.
Ugh, no one wants to hear about it.
You have tenure.
They're probably not going to listen to that.
You have tenure at your job. You have award-winning independent films.
Yes, I do.
You have shit to talk about, man.
Yeah,
but you should go.
I don't like to talk.
So we can go.
So
together.
We can go. I really wanted to go to the 10-year, right? Like, it's that thing where you watch it in, like, movies and TV. Everyone goes to their 10-year and, like, shit happens and it sounds like fun. But, like, I just got divorced. I just moved back from Colorado. You know,
not in a great place.
Trying to find a new job. I didn't have a car, right? And
so you go to this one.
We'll see.
I'll hold your hand.
I don't want that.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna hold my dick in your mouth.
All right.
Well,
it's been real.
It's been real. I hope this was entertaining and nostalgic and fun.
I think it is.
I'm Matt Bonta.
Corey.
This has been Sequel Podcast for this week and
season 15, episode 218.
See you later.